Welcome to the CEO of Destiny podcast, where you will find the tools to fulfill the purpose of your generation and wildly succeed in the marketplace. And now your host, Andre J. Benjamin.
Have you ever wondered how God measured? How is He measuring you? What is He measuring us by? Well, the scriptures lets us know that God really measures us by our capacity and ability, our individual capacity and ability. We each have a distinct individual capacity and ability, which means everyone does not arrive to the planet with the same capacity and ability. Every single person has a specific capacity and ability. If I'm looking at someone who is phenomenally gifted in mathematics, God's like, hey, you can excel beyond that person if you would work, if you would develop and cultivate. I've given you maybe a shorter or a what would seem smaller capacity, but you could develop it, you can cultivate it, you can become exactly who I told you to be if you overcome the obstacles. So He's measuring you by the output, by your ability, by your capacity, and not by others. Mark 4 lets us know that there are different measurements for each person. So all believers are not the same. If a 60-fold is producing 40, they may look good, but they are docked in God's sight. So don't be intimidated by others' talents and giftings. See, God gets angry. God gives you multiple talents, or He might give you one talent. If you're the person with one talent in the parable of the talents, then you can't take that one talent and be mad at the person who has 5. And most of our society makes us covet others. Covetousness and jealousy is pushed by others. To desire to have something that wasn't meant for you is constantly pushed upon us. We're constantly told that you need something else. You haven't been given everything pertaining to godliness and life. We have everything. He's given us everything pertaining to life and godliness. Every single one of us arrives as a package that needs to be unwrapped. Every single one of us arrives as a seed that needs to be developed and cultivated. Everything's given to us in an unfinished form, and we have to water and cultivate and let that seed be planted and let it germinate in the soil and let it come forth and produce fruit. So you have to exercise through an act of the will, a commitment to go hard after what has been promised to you. You must pursue it with all of your might, with all of your soul, with all of your strength. I can't look at the person to the left of me and to the right of me, but the word declares that if we stay on the straight and narrow path, then we will reap a harvest if we don't faint. So this is an encouragement to you. Are you assessing today? Check the variables in your life that you can control. What are the controllables? Control the things that you can control. Don't worry about the things that you can't control. You may not be able to control the weather. You may not be able to control what's happening with the national economy of the nation that you live in. You may not be able to control other people's perception of you and the judgments that they may make of you because of you, where you came from, your background, or your family, or your neighborhood. It doesn't matter what people think about you. Your test scores may even say one thing, but what you can control. You can control your effort. You can control your attitude. You can control your output. You can control your follow through. You can control your timeliness, your hygiene. You can control the knowledge and the information that you avail yourself to. You can control the peers that you pick and who you choose to keep in your circle of counsel and influence. You can control who are your heroes and who do you not look to as heroes, because the people, whatever we champion in our life becomes magnified, but whatever we starve and we downgrade, it will die off naturally. So my challenge to you today as a CEO of your own destiny is, what are you doing to judge the capacity and the ability that you have? Are you developing it? Are you worrying about yourself so that you can become who God told you to be? Are you obedient to the gospel of the kingdom and becoming exactly who you're supposed to be? Are you too busy worried about what the next person is doing? Are you too busy being jealous about what you don't have? Are you counting what you don't have and saying all the reasons why you can't do what you're on the planet to do, instead of making a list of all the ways that you can achieve what was expected of you and what was spoken to you by the Father and the King? So signing off, just some food for thought. I want you to actually take some actions today and do an inventory. Ask yourself the question, am I judging and am I developing myself according to my ability and my capacity, or am I looking at others and wanting to be in their shoes? And if I am, if that answer is yes, How can I focus on what I can control? How can I focus on, maximizing my output, maximizing the kind of positive attitude that I have, the kind of faith-filled, driven attitude that I have to achieve? What kind of achiever's mindset can I have instead of a loser's mindset? You got to have a mindset of victory. You got to have not a grasshopper mindset, but a mindset of victory. So have a great one. Check it out. Check your inventory. Assess yourself. Self-assessment time.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. Do us a favor. If this was useful in any way for you, please go to iTunes and leave us a review. Reviews will allow others to easily discover the podcast. If you'd like more information and to receive a free download, Rediscover Your Destiny, go to ceoofdestiny.com. Thanks again, and tune in next time.